Substandard Broadway? On Broadway! Hello and welcome to Property Box News. I'm Simon Evison. A fast-paced show this week. I've got a number of short stories to bring you. First, tenant demand for private rented accommodation is continuing to rise according to a market report from specialist lender Paragon Mortgages. And landlords are recognising this. A year ago, Paragon reported that a quarter of landlords were expecting to sell because of the stamp duty surcharge and imminent change to mortgage interest tax relief. That figure is now reversing down to 17%, and the proportion of landlords willing to purchase buy-to-let property has now risen to 13%, up from a record low of 9% 12 months ago. Still low, but it shows that confidence remains in the buy-to-let sector. An overwhelming 94% of landlords say that the biggest influencing factor is that tenant demand remains high and shows no sign of decreasing. And as reported last week, the housing policy that the government intends to implement is likely to fall short of meeting housing demand. John Heron, managing director at Paragon Mortgages, said, "With no material improvement in the supply of new housing against a background of strong population growth and household formation, it is no surprise that landlords are continuing to experience strong rental demand." He went on to say it is promising, therefore, that there has been some improvement in landlord buying intentions, albeit from a slow base. Now, thinking about the tenants themselves, the ever-demanding people that they are, broadband speed is a deal-breaker when it comes to choosing where to live. In a recent study, slow broadband is a bigger bugbear than noisy neighbours or poor heating. In fact, 48% said they would not move if the broadband speed was low. The study by fibre provider HyperOptic suggests that substandard broadband connectivity can have an adverse impact on rental values, as it can make it harder to attract and indeed retain the tenants. In another study by Go Compare, internet connectivity is the most important thing, with 76% of respondents viewing it as an essential utility and 36% saying they couldn't live without it. Hopefully, they can't live without their weekly dose of Property Box either. So how important is internet connection to you or your tenants? Let us know. Comment below on this or any subject in today's programme, or email us directly at propertybox@legacy.com. If you are planning on flipping property as a strategy, then a couple of things to bear in mind to ensure you get lots of interest and plenty of good offers. The kitchen is the heart of the home, and ensuring the kitchen is top quality is paramount. Recent research shows that a new kitchen will dramatically impact a buyer's decision and their offer price. According to a survey by home services marketplace Plentific, almost half of would-be buyers are most influenced by a new kitchen, and more than a quarter would be prepared to relax the purse strings and offer a higher price as a result. Next on the list would be a bright modern bathroom, with 46% saying that it would influence the decision to buy, and new windows are the third most important factor. Plentific Stephen Jury said, "Many buyers keep an eye out for particular renovations when searching for their next home. It goes without saying that costly renovations are high on the wish list for most buyers. These can add significant value to a property and incentivise buyers to offer a higher price." So what improvements do you think affects buyers' decisions, and what, in your opinion, will add most value? Enter your comments below or add something on our Facebook page. Also, if there's any subject you'd like us to highlight, then please drop us a line. And finally, if you're looking for a new home with an ironclad reputation, then perhaps the former home of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher will suit you. She and husband Dennis lived at 112 Swan Court, Chelsea in the 1950s, while Mrs. Thatcher was a lawyer, and it was here she set her sights on a political career. Although at the time she was only 28 and a new mum of twins Carol and Mark, the lady was not for turning. Who knows? Perhaps this was where she formed the ideas that everyone had the right to own their own home. That's all from me this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye. Substandard Broadway? On Broadway. Study by Go Compare. That was rubbish again. How did this nobody from the internet, had the right to own their own home? Well, Oh,